Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. We've got a good showing. We're so much excited to have Andy present for us today. I have an introduction for him, but before I do, I went around and I offered a little gift to everybody that is here. So if you didn't get a gift from Andy, come up here at the end, please. And we all want to thank Andy for doing that, right? Yay! I've known Andy a long time. He's a very generous man. All right, here's his formal introduction for his presentation today. Andrew Little managed to tame his fear monster. I could go on for the whole presentation about him doing the fear monster speech. Andy Little managed to tame the fear monster enough to walk into his very first Toastmasters meeting in 2003. Right? I was there. Since then, he has held many club officer roles as part of many clubs. He has also served at the district and international levels. At every step of his journey, there were mentors and role models who helped to keep the excitement alive for him. He learned that leadership was not about how he could improve himself, but in how he could improve the lives of others. How he could build confidence and self-esteem in them, and in building the excitement that they felt about their own capacities and possibilities in their lives. Let's build the excitement with distinguished Toastmaster Andy Little.
Hopefully everybody can hear me. Can you?
Yes.
Did you see the picture in the program for this session?
Yes.
If you did, it's probably the only one that has the picture of two people in it. And the reason I use that picture fits right into the theme. My wife wanted to go get some pictures taken of us. I'm not a picture person. Pictures don't get me excited. But we went to this park with the photographer, doing all the right things, stand this way, pose here, lean against the tree, smile. And we're going through this process, and I'm trying to look excited and have fun. And at some point, I just told my wife, I said, hey, let's do something crazy. Why don't you jump on my back? And she goes, what? I said, just jump on my back and pretend you're flying. And then we'll run around a little bit. And she jumped on my back, did the flying thing, and the photographer's snapping pictures of it. We get the pictures back, and there's hundreds of pictures. She picked out the two she liked the most, and they were both the ones with her on my back. She said, I love this so much, I don't know why. And the reason is that the smile was real. It wasn't pretend. And she was actually having a really good time. So we can pretend to have a good time, or we can actually really have a good time. And that's all about building the excitement, is doing things in a way, sometimes on the edge, that gets people excited about what they're doing. And it becomes a contagious thing. So we all want to celebrate. I think everybody came here today actually wanted to have fun and not be bored, I think, maybe. One thing I like to do in sessions is, did everybody here think that this was the best session to attend at this time, right? Okay. And usually we're in a conference hall where we're in rooms right next to each other, so I have everybody stand up. So stand up. And we want to make everybody else that came to this conference feel bad about not coming to this session. So on the count of three, I need to get a really big woot out of everybody, loud enough for everybody else in this place to hear it. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Woo! I got people laughing and smiling already. actually, it's funny, I had people smiling and laughing before we even started. Because the building the excitement started before I left home. And it's one I picked out what I would wear today, or wear today, not wear. And I took a risk. Right? I could have come, dressed like a American businessman, or because I spent 3 months in Thailand, I could wear some clothes, native clothes from Thailand. And this is formal wear in Thailand. It's actually really nice. This is a $5 shirt.
Wow.
When most of the shirts you can buy for $2 or $3, so it's incredible what you can get for your money. But I thought I'd wear this because it's different, and it's on the edge. And a lot of people come and say, "Oh, I love this shirt. I love this shirt. Where's that from?" So they're curious. They want to know, and that's a part of excitement, is the unknown. So I went out to AI, because AI is the big buzzword today, and I typed in, how do I keep volunteers excited about their jobs? And it came back with some suggestions. And I thought, well, there's some good stuff in there, but the one thing that AI can't do for us is tell stories, right? There's a saying in sales that data tells and stories sell. And what I wanted to share with you today was some stories. So the format will be, and I'm going to talk about excitement for about 20 minutes, share some stories with you. Then we're going to form breakout groups. And I'm going to have some assignments for you to work on. And then we're going to do 15 minutes of feedback where each group reports back on what their findings were. I heard some people say, I picked this session because it was breakouts and some interaction, right? People love to be involved.
Yep.
So these guys look like they're a little bit excited.
Wow.
So why is excitement important in our life? Well, it gives things value. I have a friend who doesn't make very much money at all, but she drives a brand new BMW truck. I don't know how she affords it. But to her, that truck is just exciting to have and to drive and to own. To her, it's a very important thing. So it has a huge amount of value because it excites her. For me, a car is just something to get me from point A to point B, so I usually try to get what makes the most sense. But for other people, it has some sort of symbolic value. I got asked the question, why would anybody jump out of an airplane with a backpack and a sheet stuffed in it? Right? Where are they going? Right? They're going right back to where they came from. So they're not going anywhere, they're not getting anything done. But there are people who actually jump out of airplanes. And that's because there's an aspect to it of fear, excitement, tension, and people need that, right? We do zip lines. People will wrap a rubber band around their feet and jump off a bridge because it's fun, right? Because we need excitement in our life. And excitement can connect us as well, is when we do things with people, then we can feel that sense of excitement. And it gives our life meaning. So how can we build excitement? Part of it is, that's why I have a Christmas picture here, is that we create anticipation. So Christmas is a great thing where we tell kids all year long that Santa's coming. We create a little bit of tension with that, saying you got to be naughty or nice, right? If you're naughty, you're not going to get a present, you're going to get some coal. Right? So we create tension, and then we create a ceremony around that. And so for kids, this creates a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. There's a lot of different types of anticipation. So my daughter is off at college, she's going to graduate in a couple of days. And last year she moved into an apartment with some friends. And I laughed when she did that. And she said, why? I said, well, because within a year you'll hate them. We've all been through this, is that when you have friends and you go live with them, something changes. And she called me up couple months ago and said, you know, how do I deal with this? Because it seems like every time I have friends, it starts out really great and then it gets bad. And I said, well, here's what I think, is that when you have friends and they're casual friends, every time you encounter them, every time you make contact with them, you're going to the ball game or you're going to a concert or you're going out dancing or whatever. So every time you're with them, it's exciting and it's fun. And so you get this feedback loop that you say, I really love this person, I really like them because every time I'm with them, it's a great time. Oh, but then you move in with them and now you gotta pay bills, you gotta clean dishes, who cleans the bathroom? You have decisions to make, and what happens is that every time you encounter them, it's like a fight, it's like a cattle prod, where every time you get in the room with them, it's a jolt, right? You begin to anticipate that. And if you anticipate a bad interaction, you don't want to be around that person anymore. So she goes, what can I do to avoid that? I said, you know, being a married person, I've been through this, right? Is what you do is you try to put a smile on their face every day. You try to get them to anticipate a good interaction every time you interact with them. I mean, sometimes you lose fights, okay? Or you lose arguments, or you just don't engage in fights. Right? It's not about winning the fight, it's about having a great relationship. Make a choice. And so that's the anticipation part, is what are people anticipating when they meet you? What are they anticipating when they go to your club? As a district leader and you're working with your team, what do they anticipate? Is it a positive, fun experience, or is it a painful experience? And so the creating tension, everybody here, I remember Lori talks about going to that first meeting, and it was at UW Waukesha, which had like these marble hallways and really austere bright lights in the hallway. And it was way down this hallway, around the corner, and I could hear this room full of people laughing and having a good time. And it terrified me, right? It created all this tension in me, because I didn't know what I was walking into. They seemed like this big happy family and I was the outsider. And so I walk in the room, Mrs. Excitement herself greeted me right away, dragged me in the room and made me feel welcome. And when that tension gets relieved, it's like the hormones, endorphins or whatever in your body take over, and you get this really great feeling. Can we do that every time we have a meeting? Can we do that every time you walk in the door? Can we give you those sort of good feelings? And if we can do that, people will keep coming back to your clubs, want to be on your team, want to move into leadership. And we also have to be willing to risk failure. So the icebreaker is a perfect example. I was terrified of my icebreaker, terrified. And if I had to go back and watch a video of it, I'm pretty sure it was bad. But we're the supporting group, and we get people to step up into more than they believe they can do themselves. And we create a structure to lift them up and push them into that so that they can risk failure. And even as a district leader or an international leader, one of the things that we can never take away from people is that risk factor. Because that risk, right? Jumping out of an airplane with a parachute is a risk, right? If you mess up, it doesn't end well. And it's a lot less safe than an icebreaker, but when you're doing your icebreaker, it don't feel that different. But that's excitement, right? So there's positive excitement, negative excitement, but we are beings of excitement, and excitement gives us our meaning in life. And then again, create ceremonies. A good example of a ceremony, and this is, again, outside. At work, we were doing a software release, and my team was in charge of releasing the software. And we're up in the middle of the night, got all my testers testing it, and the most junior person on my team noticed an issue when we were doing the readout. And I'm asking everybody, is it, are we okay? Are we go, it's a go, no, go meeting. Are we go, no, go, no, go. We get to Maria, and Maria goes, I don't know. I think we got a problem. That took courage, because everybody on that call was above her head. But she saw something, she said something. That's the team. And so we looked into it. We're on the phone till 4 o'clock in the morning. We're waking people up. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. We have the CIO on the phone. We're waking up high-level people at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting decisions made. So a couple days later, I have a team meeting, and we're going through all the team members getting status updates, and we get Maria, and she gives her update, and at the end, like I said, so you see something, you say something. So I said, Maria lives up to the values of this team. And she demonstrated it the other night. She saw something, she said something. And so we moved on in the meeting, we're getting status updates from other people, and these calls are not in person, they're on the phone. I heard sobbing in the background. And so I stopped the call and go, Maria, what's wrong? And she goes, I've been doing this for 10 years, and nobody's ever told me I did a great job. Right? As leaders, don't be that kind of leader. If you see something, say something. It's our opportunity, because when you recognize people in front of their peers for what they did right, it's a big thing. It makes their heart soar. It makes them feel a part of the team, more connected. So at this time, I would like to do some breakout groups, 5 or 6 people each group, and grab one of these assignments. I don't know how we're going to do the online people, if they can break into a couple groups, but pick one of these. How can we make people excited to know us? That's really important in our daily life. I'm sure you've all met people that when you see them coming down the hallway, your heart flutters a little bit. It's like, oh my goodness, this is going to be good, right? You know that you anticipate that it's going to be a great interaction. And then when you talk to them, it is. It's like when I saw Rose, oh, this is going to be great. And it was, right? You meet people like that. How can we be that person? Right? If we want people to be excited about being around us, we have to be the kind of person that is excited. How can we build a culture of excitement? So at your club or as a district leader, how do you build that culture where excitement, like I said, in my marriage, which is more important, winning the argument or having an exciting, fun marriage? So set a priority, create a culture of excitement. And how can you build excitement on your leadership team? What are some of the things that you can do as a club leader, district leader, to make get your team excited about the work that they do? And then the fourth possibility is how can we add excitement to our contests and events? What can we do differently to make them more exciting for people? And it's really about getting people excited about participating in their speech contest or at other events. So let's take about 10 minutes for breakouts. So form groups, pick a topic, and then when we're done, I'm going to ask for one person from each group to give feedback.
You guys can just sit around. Sure. We can go over. You guys can turn around.
Do you want to assign topics? Because what if everybody picks the same?
Well, then that topic is the most important topic.
Okay.
What do they say? Take the last
Everybody picks the same topic.
Which one do we want?
So which topic?
That's the process consultant. Everybody picks the one, that must be the one.
We have Monica Rose.
I'm
We build excitement around our leadership.
That's what I want to give your friend.
So you can go back to Dallas next week and bring that up at your club.
No, bring that up at the board.
The board, that's
I really thought about that. Sometimes it maybe should be something that, how can you bring more stuff?
Purpose, we want to.
So are we talking at the club level or are we talking?
We're talking at the club level, sometimes it's the same on a real high level. We're gonna do, how can you build excitement on your leadership team? You're in a new role, the trio. You wanna start? Table topics in course right now. So how do you build excitement? Build a team, right?
One of the things I found,
We're doing number three.
oh, I don't have my secretary. I'm sorry. Awesome. That's fantastic.
We're gonna do number three.
Yeah, one of the things I like to say is, working on district level, is, obviously working on so much else that's happening, but a lot of times you direction for your you're not a lot more, things are good or things are bad. And a lot of times your team is, so if I come to you and I say, oh my God, I don't know how to help you, remember your responsibility. Next thing is gonna be like, and so there's kind of a fine line where you want to be optimistic, and now that they're inspired, you're not so optimistic.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
You know, be optimistic enough, they're inspired. So I think there's a lot of direction.
Be positive. Being positive is really helpful. That builds excitement. It's infectious. Write that down.
I was at a club meeting where someone was talking to me, member, and they were talking about all the things the club wasn't doing right. And I'm like, you public. Stop talking, stop talking.
Somebody else talk.
Whatever it is.
Building excitement.
This is a good question as a new club president.
One of the things that I'm realizing is real things that I think are back and honestly I would. And one of them is, I don't know that when I came in that I got a good sense of who was on the project and what it is that they saw for the vision for the club. So getting input from all of the leadership team in terms of like, what do you see as, what our charge is. We did put a club success plan together, which was helpful, but I think actually, I'm learning this from my background point of view, is that what is really important is setting a good foundation where you're building community from the beginning. And that is where everybody actually gets to learn, hear, and invisible. I don't think we did that well. Part of it is because I was very new as a Toastmasters, let alone a club member was, and I didn't have a good sense of what the hell my role was going to be. If I could go back and change that a bit, I would have said, I want to meet first in the group to really understand, like, who are all of you? What are the things that motivate you? And then how do we collectively define what it is that we really see as club, not just the successful, but what do we think that what we already sense could be some things that we should be doing together to build together. So that there's more of a sense of cohesion from the very beginning.
That's what I was talking about.
Correct. Monica talked about that.
Right, when I came in, because I don't know your background, so I caught it, I caught some of it myself. I'm saying that very transparently because I was just telling Teresa Flynn, the new me so there are absolutely lessons I've learned in my leadership, and I want to make sure that I'm but as more of a, I want to share some lessons I have. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, but I think that's how you need the continuity. So I think it's like building some foundation to define together the system, like how do we tap into the flexibility? And we have to know what that is.
That you know they don't like, stuff, but there could be some that would really love to.
It's also about creating the ownership part.
Yes.
Because I think that's where I know me and I know that when I commit to something, I'm all in. That doesn't mean that because I'm all in, means that everyone else is. So it's kind of like the value of I learned by moments of things.
You can tell that she's a pretty new Toastmaster and you're club president. Tell you about all this thing that's all right.
Yeah, there's just
Attraction, because I can't and I really want to keep her.
But what I might not know is worry.
Yeah.
But, you know, Lori really wants to do something, yeah. My division here is doing SDR session. Basically, Lori might not want to do business anymore. Lori might have something else.
For something life-changing thing, you know?
Because sometimes we think, this is the plan, how are we gonna take our shovel in to get that plan? And I very much wanted to review our Toastmasters, like, okay, look, what do we have on our team? If you can do what we can do, because our people might not be able to do what we think the plan should be, but they can all do something to contribute to helping us get better. So what are those things? Around people, especially the ones here in the club.
2 minutes! 2 minutes, everybody!
Excitement is built when it's what you were saying earlier. I totally believe that people get more excited when they feel seen.
I agree.
And so building in strategies to create protection, whether that's formal or informal, or I would even dare say informal.
Yes.
I learned that too, that I need to be better at recognizing. We had an open house.
I know.
And literally nobody came, but all of our members came and made sure to say, I just want to recognize all of you showing up, coming to this open house, even if we didn't have one visitor, because you were all there ready to create the culture and environment that you wanted to have. But it took me how many months to realize that I need to say this. And I put it in writing in an email.
Perfect.
So just that recognition reward.
You learned a lot in your year as club president.
Showed up, and like half the people that wasn't there weren't even there, so it's just like, everybody like, oh, this guy before, no, the agenda, throw the agendas away, that's evidence. All those in the next room, get rid of those, but you know, let's just add it here, let's do it, you know what I mean?
Whoever's organizing. Write up, what suggestions or recommendations. Today.
Oh, that's nice. As we look Toastmasters, we all
Yes, still the members of the senior, they had
Yeah, there's one breakout.
You won't want a.
5 people, 6:30. So I think we should be attending.
Member that just has.
Yeah. I think we breakout rooms so they can broadcast it. So. Yeah, there's one corner.
Okay, let's bring him back in.
Good meeting you, hopefully.
You have like, Andy, you have like 8 minutes left, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right. All right, everybody, Andy's up.
Okay, can we hear from the online folks first?
We have 53 seconds till the room closes. So
Okay,
maybe we make them
anybody else
second.
want to report? Anything got to report? Okay, go ahead.
Please hear, how can everybody feel excitement on your leadership team? One of the suggestions was start every TC committee meeting with an icebreaker, so people all get a chance to talk, even if they've got a short report, like the treasurer. Vice President of Education, this is great. This is at a meeting. Ask each person in the room at the end of the meeting what role they would like to take at the next meeting. Instead of just having, would like to take a role, ask them individually by name what they would like to do. Look for the least impactful role that has been taken by somebody and then push them to step up to another level. So maybe they've just been doing timer. Why don't we try for Marion? I know you can do for Marion. And adding teams to the, and some teasers to the meetings to build excitement. So it's either your agenda of things coming up or whatever can cue people that this is going to be something different. And then also table topics as the starting a story and continuing along with the story. And the other thing we had was backward meetings. Okay. They're hard, but they're fun.
Good job. One of the things I did when I was club president was that at the executive meeting, we did 2 of them a year, and I had all my officers of the club give a 7-minute speech on what their plans were for their role in that year.
Nice.
And so we got some good speeches in, but people put their name on the line. These are the things, they made a commitment in front of their peers.
I love
So that was, it built tension.
And they got credit, right, Andy?
And they got.
There's no free speeches.
Okay, can we hear from the online folks?
I've got a question, real quick.
Yes.
What was your number one, Susan? The president does what?
Oh, the president starts every executive council meeting with an icebreaker. Okay,
Thank you.
not like what is your favorite color, something that
Yeah.
makes them think.
Oh, okay.
And each member of the team has, participates in icebreaker at that meeting, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Awesome.
Can we hear from them?
Okay, online. Who do we have representing the online group?
Can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything either. Nobody has unmuted.
Okay, let's move on then. Who else wants to, okay.
Wait, I can go for the online group. Sorry, I thought Kathy would, but I am not seeing the gallery. Can you all see and hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, that's cool enough. We had a great discussion about number 3 on how to build excitement in a leadership team. We each had held different officer roles over time and built up some club experience in a variety of environments. And I want to call out the conversation facilitation between Jan bringing up questions and Kathy bringing us all into the group. She did a great job of calling out 2 specific people. I don't know if you're in the room or not, but Gladys and Amy both brought good ideas to the clubs that Kathy was a part of, sharing out successes from prior meetings and trying to take some of the pressure off of new leaders or build some excitement for new leaders to join the team by letting them co-lead or take on a role just for one meeting, like being a co-VP for the meeting and then walking through the agenda and seeing how to fill roles for the next meeting. And Richard had also talked about providing more positive reinforcement and being the connective tissue for members who are less versed in pathways, to like calling on other people to help mentor and support. And you can also be the go-to person, but being able to glue people together or connect people is really helpful in building some cohesiveness and excitement, like in helping build new leaders. Thanks for the opportunity.
Great summary.
Who's next? Who's next?
Judy.
Judy.
Judy, let's hear from Judy Bauer.
Our team, we had Jackie and Steve and Paul and myself, how to build a culture of excitement.
Nice.
And some input was setting attainable goals, but more specifically telling everyone that they can succeed and showing that. Build a culture of caring. Share and show how other people are growing or have grown. Show that, build the excitement, and celebrate success. Celebrating someone's success naturally creates excitement. And praising people's efforts, then they feel excitement and other people will know this is creating the culture, not the individual. So other people will know if they do it, if they do this next year, they may get, it's not about the little plastic thing you get on stage, right? It's not individual. It's about the celebration and everyone gets excited and you get to go on stage. That's the excitement. And just like our contest, right? You're on the road to be the world champion of public speaking. Well, man, that's exciting. And every district gets behind their people and it's creating the culture. And
Looks like I am the guy here. Nice. So we chose question number 3, how can you build excitement on your team? We came up with quite a few different topics, but I think the one that stood out really the most was, how do we keep people engaged? Changing the meeting up a little bit. It's okay maybe to change the location. I know a lot of clubs are apt to meet in the same spot, going maybe to another room, maybe to another format. Talked about like a joke quiz wordmaster. Gives the audience a little bit of a chance to think on their feet. A little bit of expanded table topics, I think, was the other one. And I think your group brought it up at the backwards meeting. We thought, going into a meeting, let's start off with evaluations. Let's then move into the speakers trying to fall into that evaluation space. Lots of good ideas, a lot of good ideas within the group, but just making a reason for them to come to a meeting.
Yeah, I've always wondered why the #1 song didn't stay #1 until a better song came along. And it turns out psychologically, people like change, but they also like what's familiar. And you can't push too hard on one button or the other. They will get bored with familiar. Too much change scares them. They have to have the right balance. So these are the sort of things. Have enough change to be exciting. Don't get caught in the sameness. It may have been great a year ago, but if you're doing the same thing all the time, it will get boring. Who else do we need to hear from? Group back there? Somebody stand up.
You have 30 seconds, Joe. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess we started with my situation as Division B director, and I was kind of wondering, how could I have brought enthusiasm to the clubs that burnt out and died? I lost three clubs this term, which I wanted to avoid, but it happened. And that led us into a discussion of, well, they had to have had the excitement. Sometimes you just can't cure burnout, but how can you bring in new members to keep maintaining an exciting, positive, growth-minded club environment? And that's what I was able to do with some of with my area directors, the remaining clubs within Division B. And that led us into discussion of a couple other points with an interesting conclusion, which I'm sure I wanted to share across this audience.
Alright, you guys, you're the last ones up. Yeah, 1 minute. Come on, somebody stand up. Let's go.
Brand new Toastmaster, give her a big hand.
Recommended it was good for her to set a direction for her group, and that she thought that the team would listen to her since she's the leader. And then we talked about how it would be good for the leader to keep things positive, and we decided that, of course, enthusiasm is infectious, so that would be a good way to keep things positive. And then we talked about finding out, well, who is on our team, and letting them all introduce themselves and see what they bring to the table. And so we want to know that, so we each can contribute what they want to contribute, what they're best at, or what they're trying to learn new, develop themselves, some new talent that they didn't bring out in themselves before. And that we decided that we would like to grow our mission, have a mission that's a team mission, and that we have a cohesive mission as a group. So it's a group thinking, a group thought. Not just one individual, because we're all about, really, we're a very altruistic group of people. And so that's a basic tenet that we have, I think, as Toastmasters. And so we also said we want to see, well, what can each person contribute? I'm sorry for repeating. So we want to see and hear from everyone in the room. Eventually, and we want to also recognize them for their strengths. We're good at this inherently, I think, as Toastmasters International. We like to help compliment other people because it makes us feel better. And so we would like to come up with some more creative ways to compliment people. I just want to add one thing that we didn't discuss. I'd like to add that I think that swag is a really good way to announce to the world that this is something that lots of people would be interested in, and it could help build our children, our schools, our businesses, our cities, our states, and the world. I mean, we want Toastmasters' name to be a household topic, and if we have, the last speaker spoke with a rocket on his shirt.
Yeah.
And so everybody can see that he's about rockets, and it's an icebreaker. If we just have these are really cool buttons. I have this blue thread. It says, ask me about Toastmasters. And this is really cool. I like to wear this all day, every day, and I told the group, please put this on me when I'm demented. Because it's really, this is how we can spread the word and let the whole world know about Toastmasters, because then we can help the world, not just each other, and our group, and our area or division, or whatever you call all these different groups, segments.
Thank you.
I just have one quick point with the swag. She's so right about that. One person said, who's looking for a mate, a spouse. She says, I'm gonna create a button that says, ask me about me. But
So,
Closing comments?
so did everybody get to speak today?
Oh, yeah.
Did everybody get to give feedback and listen? Excellent. That's building a culture of excitement. That's all I really have for today. Hopefully everybody had a good time and this was worth your time today.
Let's give it up for Annie. Thank you all of us, thank you for the trinkets. It's very thoughtful of them. Bring that back for us. And on behalf of District 35, this is a certificate of appreciation for you.
Yay.
All right. It's lunchtime.